We're in Way Media.
Hello, Twisted Humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia. And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Hello and welcome to your favorite podcast. This is episode 170. Gosh, we're getting closer and closer to 200, and it's scaring me a little bit. I mean, we're looking excellent for our age, but maybe it is the witchy, familiar, yeah, we're going to stick with that, magic vibe that we got going on here, that we're just ageless. But I will say that this is a conspiracy episode. And it is shocking to me that in the 3.5 years of doing this podcast that I have never covered something out of this world, something extraterrestrial. So I figured it was about time that and our beloved Twisted Human patron and OG girly Naria suggested this case. So naturally I had to deliver. I will be telling you about the Pascagoula alien abduction.
Okay.
But before we get into that, Sierra, do you have a fun fact for me?
I do have a fun fact. I found one that is perfect for today.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, Twisted Humans, this is the first episode of spooky season. It is officially October 1st when this comes out. So hence the witch familiar joke that I made earlier today.
And Alecia is, well, Alicia's dressed like a cat. But my fun fact is also about cats.
Oh, there you go.
So it's okay.
I told you
it was perfect.
Absolutely.
Did you know cats have an extra organ called the vomeronasal organ, most often known as the Jacobson's organ? This organ is located just above the roof of their mouth, like where a front tooth would be, and it allows cats to taste scents in the air. Which is why your cat stares at you with their mouth open from time to time. They're tasting you, your air. How fucking weird.
Okay. Full transparency. We've admitted on the podcast that we're dog people over cat people. No offense to anyone that is cat people that are our listeners. But this is just further lending more to that because cats freak me out when they do that.
I am definitely a dog person, not a cat person, but I think I might be part cat because you know how I feel like mangoes taste like armpit smell? I can taste smells, okay? I can. I'm a cat.
I forgot that you said that. Sierra's a cat. I'm a cat, apparently. If your cat has ever done that to you, now you know why. That's hilarious. I mean, I've seen so many memes of cats just being like offensive looking at you. So I guess that's probably why. My fun fact brings us back to my story a little bit in that it is about no, it's not. And this is funny. I'm going to tell you the fun fact anyway.
Oh no, what happened? You changed your story?
So when I was originally writing the notes, it auto-corrected Pascagoula to Pensacola. 2 different states.
Yeah.
But I never clued in. And I wrote the fun fact anyway.
Okay, so this is a fun fact about Pensacola.
I'm not even mad. So Pensacola was established by Spanish explorer Don Tristan de Luna in 1559, making it the oldest European settlement in the continental United States. It is also known as the City of Five Flags, as it has been under rule under 5 different countries throughout history. The flags represent Spain, France, Great Britain, the Confederate States of America, and the United States.
Interesting.
As soon as I read it, I was like, that's wrong. I wrote these notes 2 weeks ago and I'm upset now.
Oh my gosh.
So nothing to do with Mississippi, but that's okay. Hopefully everyone finds the humor in my dysfunction. It's fine.
United States English is not her first language. Okay. Canadian English is.
Exactly. And I'm also going to blame a little bit of this delicious red wine for all of these goof ups, because today I have selected.
Did you fuck up on your wine too?
My wine is from Florida, the home of my fun fact.
Okay.
I'm so sad right now. I worked so hard on these notes. Okay. So today.
Listen, Pensacola is really not far from Mississippi. Like, this is not a problem at all. It's really not. They're very close together.
Guys, she's my best friend. She's my ultimate hype girl here. She's like,
Pensacola is like right next to me, and so is Mississippi. Like, you have no idea how close they are. It's perfect.
All right. That, and I don't think Mississippi is known for their wine, in my defense. So, oh my God, I'm gonna cry my makeup off. This is so funny to me. So today,
listen, wait, I need you to see this. You need to see. Okay. This is Pensacola. This is Alabama. That's Pascagoula, Mississippi. It's right there.
They're right there.
Next to each other.
It
literally
works, guys. It all works. Yeah. It's coming together. I was just trying to loop Sierra into it, is what I was doing here.
Yeah, you gotta go straight through Alabama. Just a little teeny part of it, the part that kind of like juts down in there. Because yeah.
I just wanted to bring her along for the ride.
Yep.
So this red wine is from Florida. It is from the San Sebastian Winery, which was founded in 1996 and has built up quite the reputation for itself, which actually made it easy for me to find in Vancouver. So today I am drinking their Reserve Petite Syrah, and the description reads, sought after for its uniqueness and beauty, this classic, full-bodied red wine offers a dark ruby hue, rich fruit, and smooth texture, balanced with depth and complexity. You'll find notes of blackberry and spice with hints of vanilla that meld with fine tannins to create a wine that enhances a number of flavorful food pairings. So she's versatile. She's delicious. I had a glass while I was doing my makeup, and hence why I got carried away on time. And Sierra's like, I thought you were going to eat beforehand. And I was like, no. I recorded my lines for Trevin, did my makeup, and then she was ready. So here we are.
I just want you to know that every time you say the word Syrah when you are doing a wine, all I can think of is Que Sera, Syrah. The part of Gilmore Girls where Lorelai is having a great morning, and then she falls through the ground on her porch because she has termites.
Yep.
Every time,
guys. So cheers to Lorelai Gilmore. Cheers to episode 170. And Sierra, what are you drinking over there? Que Sera, Sera.
I decided last night that I am allergic to alcohol. Technically, I think everyone is allergic to alcohol because it's literally a poison.
Yes.
But every time I try to just drink a little, I get a really stuffy nose and it's hard to sleep because I am a person who sleeps with my mouth closed, which is weird probably, but it's really hard for me to fall asleep when I'm like, like I can
you're like
breathe.
drowning in your own snot. That could be a wine or alcohol really heavy in like Sulfites
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
That gives me allergic reaction, stuffy nose as well.
But if I drink a lot, I'm drunk enough that I pass out. If I drink a little, it just makes it hard to sleep.
She's got to have that fine balance. All right.
Anyway, I was craving chocolate, so I'm drinking chocolate milk. Oh my god.
When I saw it, I'm not judging you. When I saw it, I thought it was the chocolate Choco Vino that we drank
yeah. It
episodes
looks like it. No,
and
it's
episodes
just
ago.
literally lactose-free chocolate milk. That's all.
That's amazing. In a fancy glass. I'm here for it. I also have my water and my wine in my skull hand cup that Sierra gave me. So it's a good day.
Great.
And before we get into this episode where I misconstrued Pascagoula, Pensacola, and Alabama, apparently, we are going to hear a quick promo from our friends over at Like Mother, Like Murder, and we will be right back. On October 11th, 1973, friends and coworkers Charles Hickson, 42, and Calvin Parker Jr., 19, finished their shift at a local shipyard and decided to unwind by doing a little fishing together along the Pascagoula River in Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI. That's how we all learned how to spell it, let's face it.
M-I, crooked letter, I. Crooked letter, I. Humpback, I.
That's way better. They were talking about everything and anything and nothing at all. The way that two friends do. Sounds very peaceful. But within minutes, their lives would be forever changed. Reflecting off the river, they saw a blue light in the distance, and within seconds, the source of the light revealed itself. It was a large, disc-shaped aircraft between 30 and 40 feet across and 10 to 12 feet high. It hovered just above the water, making a strange buzzing sound directly in front of where the men were sitting. And this didn't scare them so much as it confused them, but what came out of the aircraft certainly did. The creatures that they would later call monsters floated out of the aircraft across the water towards them. There were 3 of them. Calvin and Charles were completely paralyzed. They couldn't speak, they couldn't move, and they would be taken aboard the craft. In a later testimony, the men said that the creatures had pincer-type claws, almost like crabs, and robotic slit mouths, my nightmare, and elephant-like wrinkly gray skin.
I was waiting for you to get to this part. It makes me so happy that they're like sea creatures.
I know!
Because especially with what people recently have been saying about
aliens.
You know, what if it's not a spacecraft? What if it's a fucking sea craft? What if aliens are in the ocean? Did you know, bonus fun fact that I found out, that none of the bodies from the Titanic were ever found? Their clothes were found, but their bodies at the bottom of the ocean, not even skeletons were found. What happened to the bodies? Who took the bodies? The aliens took the bodies.
Yeah, I was gonna say skeletons would make sense because fish would eat their skin. But yeah.
Nope. Just their clothes, like laid out as
Yikes.
if that person was laying there. But
Yikes.
the bodies are gone.
Yikes. Hey, I'm all for any conspiracy
Aliens
to do
are
with
in
aliens
the ocean.
and the Titanic. Well, we already kind of knew that because let's face it, they're all around water usually when they're sighted.
Yeah.
The 2 men were seized and taken aboard the craft. While aboard the ship, they were subjected to a physical examination by something that looked like a, quote, big eye, and a constant mechanical sound was buzzing the entire time. Charles was quoted as saying, "Something came out of the wall, like a big eye. It came up in front of me, it went under me, and it came back to my side. The next time I saw it, it came over my head in front of me. that they turned me around and carried me right back out to where they picked me up, end quote. The whole ordeal couldn't have been longer than 30 minutes before they were right back at their fishing spot along the river, like nothing had ever happened. And then the craft disappeared in the blink of an eye.
I love this story so much. Have you ever heard them say it? You know, because there's audio of them saying it. They
Yeah.
sound so like Southern.
Yeah. Just like Hicktown, and I love it.
Listening to that Southern accent talk about aliens is
It's
just the funniest shit.
And it will make
ever
you
hear.
fucking smile every time.
It will.
I will cite one of my sources that I wrote my notes and then I watched this afterwards, and it didn't provide a lot of information, but it will give you clips of the men's interviews, which Sierra loves. And it's
Yes.
Netflix, The Files of the Unexplained, episode 1. They did
Oh, okay.
a segment on this, I guess you could say. And then Calvin Parker, who at the beginning of the story, as we know, is much younger, he did a lot of interviews that are more readily available because of the timeline, because this happened in the 70s and not everything was recorded and put on the internet like it is.
Right.
Yes, but you guys definitely got to watch it because it's really cute to hear like past clips of them talking. Thank you, Netflix, for putting that together because you have the resources. The men were understandably shaken up, but immediately went to the police station for help. They were thinking that this was some sort of terrorist attack or some sort of threat on their country in true old-timey Southern thinking.
Yeah.
At first, investigators thought that the men had been drunk or were lying or were mentally unstable. But after interviewing Charles and Calvin for hours, they left the room with the recorder secretly taping, hoping that the pair would drop their act once they left. But that's not what happened. The men kept on talking about what they had seen and felt and how scared that they were that something was going to come back. Each man also had a strange puncture wound in the back of their arm, believed to be from where they had been grabbed by the pincer-like aliens and taken aboard the ship. It's just horrifying. To lend further cooperation and proof that neither man was lying, both agreed to and passed polygraph tests, which we know mean nothing, but if you're willing to take it, it's like a thing that you have nothing to hide.
They could have clenched their butt, but
They
who knows?
Probably didn't clench their butt. Their butt was probably actually, you know what? Their butt was probably clenched because they were scared to shit. They also allowed themselves to be questioned under hypnosis. Both men felt like the questions never stopped, but they stuck unwavering to their story. The stress and the fear was so much for Calvin that he actually took a bath in bleach water when he got home from the police department, in the thought that he had been infected with something during the extraterrestrial examination. Never do this. It will burn your skin. But I also understand the feeling of like, I need to get this off of me. Overnight, the abduction became national news. Calvin and Charles had no time to cope with what had happened to them before conferences and cameras and everything was just being pushed in their face. A UFO investigator from the Northwestern University flew down and believed their story to be true based on other known accounts of alien encounters. But skeptics continued to call them liars like we see in all UFO cases. There are always going to be people that don't believe the story or believe that the storytellers have some sort of ill intent or some sort of claim to fame. But the believers took a little more of an out there approach, heading to Pascagoula by the thousands, wrapped in aluminum foil and sitting all night on the hoods of their cars along the river, waiting for visitors from another world. It's not how aliens work, guys. They're not
Yeah,
just gonna
I
come
was
back
just
the
about to
next
say,
day.
it doesn't work like that.
But I also love the 1970s of it all. Charles Hickson was the older of the two and was more well known in the community. So perhaps he felt more able to handle the media circus and the judgments that come along with publicly reporting a UFO sighting. He recounted the experience to anyone who would listen to him. He went on talk shows and he even published a book in 1983 called Alien Encounter, the Pascagoula Incident, which, if anyone can find a copy of this book, please send it to me because I couldn't find it and I would love to hear it in his own words. And the ones that I could find were extremely expensive. But if you're at like a thrift store and it's just there, get it. But Charles was humble about the experience, if that makes any sense. He didn't feel like he had to prove anything to anyone. Quote, I'm not trying to force anybody to believe anything. I just simply want to tell them what happened to Calvin and me, and they can make up their own minds if they want to believe it or not. End quote. Calvin wasn't from the area before landing a job at the shipyard, and he felt like he had more to lose. His plan initially, that's not a word. His plan initially was to earn some extra money before returning home to get married to his then fiancée. He told the media that he had passed out of fear the minute that they were grabbed by the extraterrestrials, and he couldn't really remember what had happened to him clearly. It was Charles's accounts that helped memories flood back for him, as well as the hypnosis questioning. Within a few weeks of the incident, Calvin left town and went home. He got married, finally, and he picked up another job working on an oil field. He switched jobs often, though, as every time somebody at work would recognize him, he would quit and move on to the next job. He just wanted to forget the incident, and he didn't want to be in the spotlight. Flash forward in time to March of 2011, as the city of Pascagoula was discussing plans for a historical marker to be placed along the river. New witnesses started to emerge, telling the Mississippi Clarion Ledger that on the night in question that they too saw an unidentified flying object with flashing blue lights going up and down the Pascagoula River. They said that they had kept it secret all these years because they were afraid of people's reactions and being accused of being a liar or being called crazy.
Just like the other guys were.
One woman, Maria Blair, was quoted as saying, "The story is true. That's what's bothered me for 45 years. It's been on my mind for 45 years." End quote. Crazy enough, her and her husband Jerry had a story of their own to tell from the same night. Maria and Jerry were sitting in their 1969 Pontiac in the parking lot of Graham's Seafood on the opposite side of the river from Calvin and Charles. Jerry worked for the business and was waiting on a boat to pick him up for a sea voyage to go fishing. The captain reported that they were running a little bit late, so the Blairs were waiting in their vehicle because it was a cold night. They waited for hours. Quote, I was looking at the sky and I noticed a blue light in the sky over where Calvin and Charles had been fishing. It started moving and it seemed like it was following along the Pascagoula River. I'd just seen the lights on it. It was going back and forth. Sometimes it would just sit there. It went on for about 20 to 25 minutes. End quote. After they lost sight of the blue light and the mysterious craft, the couple went and put Jerry's clothes and other items on the boat when it finally arrived. But while walking down the lighted pier, something else caught their attention. Quote, we heard this loud thumping splash in the river. I looked over the side of the pier, and that's when I saw a person in the river. I was looking right down on it. It looked like a person, but there was something different about it. It only came to the surface of the water, and as soon as I saw it, it just went back down in the water, end quote. Whatever Maria had seen, which she thought was a person in some sort of diving gear, it never resurfaced. Jerry, who had been walking ahead of her, said that he never saw it. He went to work that evening and Maria returned home. In the following days, like everyone else in the town, they heard the reports of Calvin Parker and Charles Hickson's experience. And the descriptions later of their aliens matched what she thought she had seen in the water. Quote, I thought then that it was a person, but now I believe it was an alien. End quote. In 2018, Calvin Parker finally decided it was time for him to come out of his hiding and felt he was ready to tell his story, writing his own book called Pascagoula, The Closest Encounter, My Story, which I did order, but I have not read it yet. I always learn about books after I write my notes, and then I'm like, fuck, I wish I had read that during.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for maybe some more updates and quotes from them, guys. Maybe I'll do a Patreon bonus. In July of 2019, Calvin Parker and his family were present at Lighthouse Park in Pascagoula for the marker reveal. But unfortunately, Charles Hickson had long since passed away in 2011 before it was set up. Calvin was quoted as saying at the event, "It is emotional for me. I can't really describe it because I would break out into tears if I do. I wish when I died I could be buried right here underneath this plaque. That would explain it best. It's quite an honor." End quote. And that is the story of the Pascagoula alien abduction.
What if all those times that people were seeing mermaids, they were just aliens? What if the lost city of Atlantis is just aliens living underwater?
Okay, speaking of Atlantis,
It's all fucking
get out of my
aliens.
brain. Somebody sent me an article, and I don't know who it was, but it was like about the minerals and things that were like known to be in the timeline that Atlantis would have been in.
Yeah.
And it matched like the rough area and like trajectory of where they believe it could be. And it's like 2 kilometers under the ocean in the Atlantic Ocean. Like it's super weird where it is, but they're like, this could be signs of the lost city of Atlantis. So I'm waiting for more information because this literally came out 3 weeks ago, this article,
Yeah.
for them to do more digging, because that would be really fucking cool. But
Jesse
I like
is
that thought
obsessed
process.
with Atlantis. Like for real. If you ask him, he already knows where it is. It is not underwater, okay? It is basically in Egypt. It's now a desert. It all dried up. It didn't go underwater. It got dried up. Like he is 100% sure that it is fact. I've seen at least 3 documentaries about this theory that he has made me watch. Like he is 100% sure. So, you know,
I love him more than I
if you want to
already
take
did.
advice from Jesse.
When we eventually cover the lost city of Atlantis,
Yeah.
you can interview your husband.
No, he'll be like, no, this isn't a theory. Like it's a fact. That's it. They found it already. Like he's sure. I'm like,
He's gonna be
Mhm.
the Southern quoted man that everyone is smiling about when they're telling his story.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
But again, I would really recommend the Netflix Files of the Unexplained episode because it has a lot of old interviews, especially with Charles. It is super sweet. I'm really excited to read Calvin's book, so stay tuned for some updates and maybe more information from that. A lot of people have come forward after the fact still and continue to come forward about their experiences from this night. There is a lot of hoax experiences as well. Like there was a psychic in Mobile, Alabama, who said that, you know, the alien would or the aircraft would make another appearance on this day at this time, and like everyone gathered and the news gathered and nothing happened. And there were other people that said that they had seen it, but it was in like a different area and it didn't really match the timeline of Calvin and Charles. But then there were other people in the area that were just out driving, and like their vehicle stopped working all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like the power was cut, like in the timeline that the aircraft would have been flying over them. So it's just really weird
I
when
love
something
this
like
story.
this comes out and everyone comes forward and they're like, this little tiny piece of information I thought was insignificant at the time, but it could be related. And we know that, with ships of this caliber, like there has to be some sort of energy surge or like disconnect in the air. So
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I know that a lot of people believe that Maria came forward after the fact and that she was just looking for like the side fame, but I choose to believe her because she kept it secret for 45 fucking years. And then she was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is weird. And we were just waiting for my husband's shift to start. And this is what happened. So I believe that she maybe saw something in the water. So
This is like one
I
of
love
my
that you love this
favorites.
story.
I do so much because to me it is one of
Hope I did
the
it justice.
more believable ones.
I agree.
Because they have like that video or that audio evidence of these guys like talking to each other. Like you think when you leave the room they're gonna be like, do you think they believed us? Except they were like,
Yeah.
dude, are you
I'm
okay? Are
fucking
you okay? Like,
scared. Yeah.
like what's gonna happen to us now? Like,
Yeah.
did we really just see that?
Yeah.
Like they were honestly like you could tell actually feeling, even if they did, even if it wasn't aliens, they believed it was. They saw
Yeah.
something
Mhm.
for sure.
That's
And
what
it's
the
so weird
sheriff
that
said. He's like, you
Mhm.
can't fake fear.
Yeah.
Can't fake fear.
And it's so weird that the thing that they saw is like has pinchers. Like it's so, because of all, like if anybody else, if any other alien story said they saw pinchers, people would laugh at them. Like, are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me? But because this is one of the most believable ones, and at the same time it's one of the most silly descriptions, this story is great. Like it's
Yeah.
so crazy.
With the sources on our website, I will post a photo of a sketch that somebody made of like their description. And it's super fucking weird because
Yeah.
the leathery gray skin, yeah, that's like a common alien description, or like the big eyes and the really tall bodies and that kind of stuff. But theirs is so unique that it feels more authentic, if that makes sense. Like, because
Yeah.
there's less versions of that. I love it. I don't know. Thank you, Naria, for bringing it to my attention, because I knew of the story, but I didn't know anything else about it. And she called it her new Roman Empire. And she was like, I'm obsessed with this story. I need you guys to cover it. So she sent me the link to an interview with both of them.
Yeah.
And like a YouTube video of a guy talking about it. It was like 13 minutes long, but it's just cool how many people believe in this story. So I'm happy for it to be my first alien story on this show. I know that's usually Sierra's wheelhouse, but I had to take the torch a little bit for today, especially considering I purchased a giant fucking alien.
Yeah, it doesn't have
somewhat.
pinchers, but it's fine.
No,
We'll let it
yeah,
slide.
it's fine. Maybe that will be my next one when we actually have a formal podcast studio. But we really appreciate you guys listening. If you liked this week's episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review. It really is the best way to spread the word and the best way for other people to find us. And if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And we've got lots of fun costumes coming your way for the rest of spooky season. But before we log off today, Sierra, do you have anything exciting going on in your life? Anything happy? Anything positive that you want to mention?
My birthday is this weekend as this is coming out. I know not as it's coming out, as we're recording.
Yes.
I know when it comes out, it is past, but
Hence
I
the
am
fucking scramble ass first costume because I'm like, oh shit, we got to start doing this, guys.
I am having a birthday party this weekend. It's another murder mystery birthday party, and I'm so excited.
I didn't get the invites.
Yeah. Come from Canada for
Listen,
a Saturday.
being invited is exciting enough. Okay.
Listen, I did not host this party. I have no invitations. So
Oh shit.
it's not me
I'm
that
excited.
you yell at. Yeah, I was invited to my own birthday party. Okay. I'm not the host this time.
Who's hosting it for you?
Jeremy and Julie.
Oh, lovely.
Since I set up the last one, they're setting
like,
up this one.
We're doing it. All right.
Yeah, but it's trailer park themed. It's called Trailer Park Tragedy, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be hilarious.
What are you and Jesse dressing up as? Do you have costumes in mind?
So, since it's a murder mystery, you have a character that you have to play. Mm-hmm. My character is a hairdresser.
Okay.
And Jesse's character is my son. So
that's so weird, but I'm here for it.
It is. It's weird. It's gonna be hilarious.
I can't wait to hear all about it. You guys will have to tune in on Patreon in October for Bitch and Wine, where we will unleash all of the birthday drama. That's exciting. No, I can't wait to hear about it. My something positive and something fun is that Sierra got me the first book of the ACOTAR series as part of my birthday gift, and I started reading it last night, and I'm only 30 pages in, but I'm really excited to read the rest of the series and feeling very motivated to catch up with her on that reading journey.
Yes.
And I'm also, little wins. I'm very excited to eat my dinner after.
That's always good.
I can smell it, okay? It's literally just chicken Caesar salad, but something about chicken Caesar dressing or Caesar dressing with chicken and hot sauce is like my new favorite combination ever. I don't know what it is, but little wins in this life, guys. So I'm going to go do that. Sierra's going to go to bed and gear up for a busy day tomorrow. But
after I wash this face.
Yeah, right. Wash your face, people. Tips from an esthetician: wash your fucking face. Do you have any skincare tips for the holiday or the Halloween season with all the extra makeup and grossness and fucking costumes and alcohol and things that go along?
Honestly, no. I mean, the makeup is gonna be a thing because it's Halloween time, but just do not forget to wash your face. Please do not forget to wash. Double cleanse, okay? This is a lot of makeup. Like, first use, tip for sure, micellar water for removing your makeup. It is water-based makeup remover, not oil-based makeup remover. Oil-based works better. Water-based is better for your skin. Get all the makeup off, cleanse, then cleanse again, okay? Because the first cleanse will get all the makeup-y stuff off, but the second cleanse will get really deep into your pores and get the pollutants out. So, micellar water, cleanse again.
I think I have micellar water. It's like Neutrogena something, and it comes in a big bottle. Super easy to find. So, would recommend. I'm going to go do that myself, and we will see you guys next week for our... What do you got for me?
Disappeared.
I think you said disappeared, which we are actually recording on my birthday, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
To see what Sierra's got for us. And in the meantime, keep it twisted. Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alecia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.